Alright, so I've been kind of outspoken about my disagreements with David Pakman for a long time. I don't think anybody has to really be a deep into Dankey Kang lore to understand that my beef with David Pakman goes back not quite for a long time, but we do have beef nonetheless. So, I want to just preface this by saying I don't hate David Pakman, I just don't think he's a good progressive. And I sort of laid out why in this 12 episode sort of expose that I did. I guess it's 13 episodes now. But I kept seeing David Pakman's content being cross-posted to Breadtube. And so I felt like it behooved me to make this post. So this is a muy caliente spicy hot pepper of a post because it's gotten the big man's attention. DP himself has responded, and so that's why I'm making this video as a matter of public record to show that, I have gotten Daddy's attention. Senpai has noticed me. I don't know if he's really noticing what I have to say though. But anyway, I say in my post, I'll put things brief. Alright, David Pakman is a capitalist shill, an imperialist scumlord. But let's go issue by issue. So I came in a little hot. I can already see why Pakman would get pissed off at this post. So number 1, Israel. Pakman has shown himself to be consistently parroting anti-Palestinian talking points and pro-Israel propaganda. He threw Ilhan Omar under the bus. He also threw AOC under the bus for defending Palestine. He shamed Black Lives Matter and said Israel-Palestine was not a black and white issue. So let's just kind of go video by video on there. But first of all, I want to read what the big man says. He says, "Lol, I don't think even one of the points in your original post is accurate. This is such a bad faith characterization of my positions that there is no way to even address it on the merits, since every one of my positions is inaccurately presented." Okay, Pakman, you say your positions are, what was it again? Inaccurately presented? How is that possible? When, let's take a look at this video here. This video, Bad Progressives, David Pakman throws Ilhan Omar under the bus. I start off with your video, Ilhan Omar's nonsense tweets. Let's mute my video. So we start off with your video, dim Ilhan Omar's nonsense tweets. You go on to describe how these tweets are can be misinterpreted as anti-Semitic. And so I point out in my video that Israel receives far more aid than any other country than the US. Point this out to you. So when Ilhan Omar says things like AIPAC, it's not racist. It's factual. The one who is trying to misconstrue Ilhan Omar's statements about funding towards Israel is you, my friend. You are the one who is trying to frame this as an anti-Semitic attack. And I believe there's some part in here that has like the ultimate like display of this. But on your YouTube banner of this video, on the thumbnail, you have Ilhan Omar's anti-Semitic tweets. I had it right up here. Yep, here it is. Rep Omar's anti-Semitic tweets. So you try to go backwards after this because you caught a lot of shit for this, and rightly so. You try to go backwards from that and say, oh, I never said what she said was anti-Semitic. But here, right before my very eyes, we have the thumbnail, David. And it's not like I'm cherry picking this. I watch the majority of the video. I hear everything that you have to say about this. I add more facts into the issues. I try to do some deeper dives and deeper investigations into some of the topics that are being talked about here. So it's not like I'm just taking your clips out of context and completely misinterpreting what you're saying, David. I understand what you're saying. So we can go with this video. He also threw AOC under the bus for defending Palestine. We talked about this video. In the video, I talked about how you pretty much wrongly and very critically threw AOC under the bus. You basically said that she was cringeworthy, that she was just not worth her grain and not worth her weight in dirt, that she was basically dead weight. Now I'm paraphrasing, of course. As you can see, this is a 30-minute video. I spend 30 minutes analyzing your 7.5-minute video. So you are framing this as me just taking your stuff as inaccurate and bad faith characterizations. If anything, David, I'm giving you tons and tons of times to explain yourself. I go with you point by point with all of these videos. So it's not like I'm leaving anything out here. But let's keep going, because this is just the beginning, my friend. This is one of the first ones I had a real big problem with, was you essentially shamed Black Lives Matter for standing with Palestinians. You said something to the effect of, why are they focusing on Palestine when there are a myriad of other issues at play here? And I responded by, and rightly so, by saying, are they supposed to be expected to counter every single last issue before Palestine? So I mean, in these videos, David, not only do we hear your arguments, not only do we hear what you have to say in the full context, how you say it, and I give a disclaimer at the beginning of almost every video that I don't hate you. I'm not out this after this to attack you. What I'm trying to do is constructive criticism here, David. So how is this in any step of the way mischaracterizing what you are saying when we are going point by point through all of these videos? This doesn't seem like a mischaracterization. Now, I mean, the only way I could be mischaracterizing your arguments is if you just completely did a 180 from all of these issues. Like, if you did a 180 on Israel between the time of making this video and now, I would love to hear it, David, and I would actually love to see it. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But there, are lots of things you say in this video that I find problematic. I address them point by point. Like I said, this is a 34-minute video. I am responding to a video that is probably not nearly that. Yeah, 10 minutes, 41 seconds in length. So, if anything, this analysis is 3 times longer than the original video. You can consider that like 3 times the content. All right, if you want to call it that. Now, am I saying that I'm as good as you, David? No. Am I saying that I'm smarter than you? No. But what I am saying is that you've got some bad takes, dude. And when you say I welcome criticism on my website, on my subreddit, on my YouTube, and I'm giving you criticism in good faith. I'm doing your arguments point by point, dude, and I'm taking them on and I'm shredding them apart. And I don't think you like that very much, but to say it's a mischaracterization is bullshit, David. And you know that, dude. If you watched any of my videos, you would know that. I would love to know what you think I'm mischaracterizing here so I can redact that. But bad faith characterizations of your positions. Alright, do I think that you are deliberately shilling for capitalism and for imperialism? I'm not sure, David. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you are making your content in good faith or not. So to accuse me of characterizing you in bad faith, like I have some kind of bias against you, like I wanted one of my heroes, another one of my fucking heroes on YouTube, to sort of fall under this sort of reactionary umbrella. Like, no, that's not what I want, David. Like I said, I was a fan of yours once upon a time. I watched your stuff like every single day. I mean, we can just keep going though. As far as Venezuela, my dude, you were totally wrong about everything having to do with Venezuela. Your whole analysis of Venezuela was just parroting US talking points. Now, on one hand, you say, I'm not an interventionist. I don't believe in intervention. But on the other hand, you say, but the Venezuelan regime is authoritarian and evil, and it's horrible, and the people are starving, and Juan Guaido might bring democracy. It's just a bunch of bullshit, David. And you, being someone of Argentinian descent, ought to know that the US has had its grubby, dirty little hands all over South and Central America for at least the past century now, since the beginning of the Monroe Doctrine. So you should really have sort of a keen sense of bullshit when it comes to sensing US motives, and Juan Guaido is, of course, an IMF-backed Pentagon plant. So when you sort of talk shit about Maduro and his regime, you are really not doing the left any favors, David. And once again, I don't mischaracterize anything you say. We watched the entire thing. We watched everything you have to say about Venezuela. I do show this hilarious cowboy picture the whole time. Or almost the whole time, but I mean, we go point by point. And this is what I'm trying to get home to you, David, is that I'm not mischaracterizing you. I'm not mischaracterizing you in any way, shape, or form. As much as you like to claim that the left, that these far left, these Leninist leftists, as you call us, mischaracterize what you have to say, I have done none of that. I've taken everything that you've said in the context that you say it, and I have thoroughly debunked it. I have thoroughly shown why it is wrong from a leftist point of view. And I don't know why you seem to think that I'm not taking anything you say like in good faith. Like, I assume that you're genuinely a good guy. I just think that you're wrong. And I can have disagreements, and I can voice those disagreements and not, you know, be accused of being like a leech that's leeching onto your fame. Like, once again, like, how's that any different from what you do covering the MSM? Like, we are both leeches, my friend, if that's what you want to call leeching. You are a far bigger leech than I, granted, but I'm still small and humble compared to you. But as for your criticisms of capital, I mean, we can go all day talking about that. You essentially discount anything done in the name of Marxist-Leninism. And like I say here, you make typical Western arguments for why socialism doesn't work according to you. In my video, my long-ass series of videos, I address this in detail. Once again, I don't mischaracterize what you're saying. I would be happy to have a deeper discussion with you. I'd be happy to call into your show one day. I don't know if you would have me, you know. I promise not to be rude. But, you know, to accuse me of mischaracterizing you, inaccurately presenting your views, I think is laughable, David. Like, what am I to believe? That you haven't watched my videos and you don't know what I'm trying to say, or that you have watched my videos, you've heard what I've said, you don't like it, and so you're trying to do damage control here. I understand, David Pakman, you are a busy man, but I have gotten under your skin, I think, because you're responding to my posts calling you out, and I'm glad that you have that sort of relationship with your online audience, that you're willing to respond to posts and respond to criticism. I just think that this is a sort of a poor response, demonstrably so, because I can just show video by video how I'm not misrepresenting you. So, I mean, you're welcome to fire back with another comment, and I'll just keep churning these videos out and making posts. I'm not gonna post this on your subreddit. I'm not gonna bother those good folk there anymore. I feel like I've gotten my message across to them, and I would just be sort of beating a dead horse. But here on Breadtube, it's a different story, because this is a ecosystem of the entire left, including those evil Leninists that you seem to dislike so much. So, that's all I'm gonna say about that. David Pakman, you are my senpai. As much as I talk shit about you, I do look up to you. And I think you're a nice guy. I just don't agree with a lot of your views. So that's all I'm trying to say here.